Hi, this is Neil Warfield. I'm going to show you how I'm going to carve a plaque of the United States Army seal. So I already did another one of the Department of Veterans Affairs plaque, and I apologize for the noise in the background. I have my laser doing some signs for scout camp. I'll try to talk up and I'll try not to stutter too much or cough too much because allergies are bad right now. I'm not doing this in any particular order. I kind of tend to jump around, but well, let's get started. So there's several options to trying to get an image on a piece of wood that you want to work with. To me, the best thing I found is to print it out and then you glue it to the piece of wood, and we'll do this in a minute. But then you're going to say, wait, Mr. Warfield, how come your lettering is all backwards? Well, because in order to glue it down, it has to be face down. So you want the letters backwards. And I'll do a video on how to do the drawing or do the image and get it flipped. The short answer is you got to bring it into something like Word or PowerPoint, save it as a PDF, bring it into Reader, then you can blow it up and print it in poster size. You also have to put it into a photo editor like GIMP, G-I-M-P, to flip the image. So I have to actually cut some of this out because, as you see, I already have the words done. So I carved all these out and filled them with gold colored epoxy resin. And I will eventually, once I'm done sanding it, I'll paint the background, paint or stain the background, the Army green color or something close to it. I think that'll bring out the lettering really nice. In these grooves, I also plan on putting some copper around. I think that'll be a nice embellishment. So the reason this is a ring is because, oops, this will go over top like this, and it'll be shaped in a dome shape with this part carved into it. So what I'm going to do right now is cut the rest of these papers so that they're this size, and we will glue them down. So I don't need the outer ring of stars and lettering, so I can cut those off. Now for this particular seal, I had to print it out at 250% increase in size, which put it across 6 pages. Just had to kind of guesstimate on how big to print it. Took a few tries till I got it just right. But you do use a lot of paper and a lot of ink. But this method works pretty good. Now this is up from a dot matrix printer. My understanding is if you use a laser printer, you can rub the sheets with, put them down on your board and rub them with acetone, 100% acetone, which you can get at your local store as fingernail polish remover. And that will dissolve the toner and release the toner from the paper, and it will soak into the wood. But, I don't have a laser printer at home, so I'm going this method. Now you can cut out the white border, just because we're carving this afterwards. I'm not going to do that tonight. If you're doing things like decoupage, or just want to transfer something to a piece of paper or piece of wood, this method will work for that sometimes too. So bear with me a sec, I gotta dig out my glue. Which is here somewhere. Oh, that's right in front of my face. Alright, so let me dig out one more thing. Whoops. Dropped it. So what I like to use bear with me a sec. Find one more thing. Alright, now I'm ready. For spreading glue, I like to use an old credit card. I had to find a Sharpie to black out the numbers. But, yeah. Let me get rid of this bottom piece. Alright, it has gotten quite warm in here. Now this is actually, I've drawn this to match the circle I cut out. So this is the exact top. So I want to have that at 12 o'clock for me, which is 4 o'clock for you, I think. So that's the back. Flip this over. And just going to try to line this up so it's centered left and right. Now this is going to be a little bit bigger than this, but that's okay. That's by design. Just make sure that everything here is lined up before I flip it over and work down. Oops. Big puzzle. Now when I was doing the first piece, the first round, I made little marks where everything goes. I think I could do that. I can bypass this. Let me take those off. Let's start with the big pieces first. Now, I'm just using wood glue. You can use like a decoupage paint or white school glue. I tried glue stick, that doesn't stick well enough. So I'm gonna just sit that down here so I know about where it goes. Squeeze out some glue. You don't worry if you get too much, we're going to squeegee it off with the card. Alright. Make sure you're using an old card and not a new one. Pull some onto the card so you get it spread evenly. And actually want a very thin layer because when you put the paper down, the glue's going to get the paper wet as to fall. But we're not doing an exact perfect image. We are just getting it under enough so we can see what we're carving. A little bit more on the sides. And when you get it really thin, it wants to dry really quick. okay. I'm going to put this down. And rub it in so it sticks. Now once I glue these down, I can't show you the next step until the glue dries, which will be tomorrow. So this will be little bits at a time. Go in there. Sometimes the edges stick up. Squeeze a little glue in along the edges to help stick it down. See how it's bubbling up. That's nearly unavoidable. I'm sure you could do like a rubber cement, but I don't know like these guys. More. I'm just going to overlap the weight a little bit. It's hard to see. Glue. Okay, if it curls up on the sides, just do that. Squeeze it down. Doesn't matter too much if you get bubbles in it. It's preferred that you don't get a lot. Sometimes it's kind of difficult. I'm sure if you use like a glossy, well, I don't know if that would work. Using a glossy photo paper. So, I have to remember which pieces go there. I think up there. This goes over here. These two. I think. I hope that's right. We'll find out. This goes here. Now the next step now, like I said, make sure you're not using a big credit card because this will run out. It's not super necessary that it sticks 100%, but what the next step is tomorrow after this dries. Some stink bug. Here's the stink bug. Got glue all over it too. After this dries tomorrow, we're gonna spray a little tiny bit of water on it and then rub it to it with our finger till we wear away the couple layers of paper. We're left with the layer that has the ink on it, one glued to the board. You'll see more of that tomorrow. Doesn't take long, it's just a little tedious sometimes. Like spots here where it didn't glue down very well, that's probably going to be hard to get the image off. But I'll show you how we do that tomorrow. So, I'm going to try to keep these short, but once we get into doing the carving, it'll probably be a little bit more fun. I can fast forward through some of them too. So that's it for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.